All right, hello and welcome to the video. Once again, my name is Wade Smith, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about two methods to apply the disarmor and two methods to escape the disarmor. And for those of you who watch WWE, the disarmor is Becky Lynch's primary finishing move, finishing submission that she uses in one-on-one matches, assuming somebody doesn't beat her by cheating or something like that. All right. But I was first introduced to the disarmor when I was about 12 years old in Isshinryu as one of the first 5 or 6 submissions that was taught to me when I was a yellow belt. White belts were then not allowed to go through the submissions class because you're supposed to focus more on just learning your basic strikes and stuff like that. But there are two very effective ways to get the disarmor on somebody. The easiest way is once you've got sidearm control on the person and you kick them a time or two in the solar plexus or stomach or somewhere. All right, you take your free leg and say, I'm the victim here, and the person applying the disarmor is over there. They're going to step on the back of my knee. There's a pressure point in the back of your knee and force my knee to the ground, and my arm is hyperextended here. Then they're going to step over my arm and apply the disarmor. All right. If I want to get out of the disarmor, I've got a split second to react, and I can roll forward and do a break fall and roll forward, and I should break out of the disarmor. Another method is to try to grab your own arm and pull it free before they get it fully on there. All right. But that's the first method, is to step on the back is to get sidearm control and step on the back of your opponent's knee with the pressure point in the back of your knee, which you can cross-heel stomp kick to the back of the knee in a street self-defense situation, whereas in sport fighting, that cross-heel stomp kicks are banned. But obviously with WWE performing twice a week, if they did real cross-heel stomp kicks to the side or back of the knee, they'd break one another's knee within short order, and they wouldn't have anybody on the main cast. So obviously that's not going to be done on WWE. But you stomp kick to the back of the knee and you step down on the back of the knee, and there's a pressure point in there. And if that doesn't tap them out automatically, you can go ahead and throw your leg over their arm, sit down on their arm, hyperextend the elbow and shoulder. And if you got to, go ahead and break it and dislocate the shoulder. That's the first method. The second method is if you're like really flexible, more flexible than me, and like flexible as Jean-Claude Van Damme or Philip Rhee, or at least a little more flexible than I am anyway, and you've caught the opponent's, let's say in this case, you caught the opponent's left cross out of the air, you can throw an inside crescent kick over their arm and sit down into the disarmor, all right? An inside right crescent kick, or if you caught their right cross out of the air, you would throw an inside left crescent kick over their arm and then immediately sit down into the disarmor. And those are the two main ways to apply the disarmor. And again, I already showed the two ways to get out of the disarmor. It's still very effective submission, especially for street self-defense, if you need to finish off one attacker by dislocating their arm, so you have a chance to defend against a second attacker. Very effective submission, whether it's one attacker or two attackers. And your opponent is going to tap, and if you need to finish them off, you can go ahead and break the arm. If you need to finish them off in a street self-defense situation, you can go ahead and break the arm. All right, so that is a real martial art what Becky Lynch is doing, and she probably knows a heck of a lot more than that, because I know Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins know more than that. And if I remember right, she's married to Seth Rollins. So they probably know a hell of a lot more than what they let them show you on the television. But the thing is, they can't fight like Isshinryu fighters on WWE, because if they really fought like that, the main roster would be so beat up after a week or two that they'd be disabled. All right. So another arm bar submission is the full arm bar and the full reverse arm bar. But I'm going to need a real partner to demonstrate that and how to apply it and how to potentially get out of it once it's on you, which you're pretty screwed, but you still have a chance, but you're pretty screwed if it gets on you. But hopefully you're the one putting it on your opponent. All right, that's the end of this video, and I'll start another video a little bit later. Make sure that I get better lighting. I think it might be a little too bright out here at this time of day for this video to be the most effective. Thank you very much for watching if you watch this. And I don't know why the cursor gets lost on these things every time. It should stay exactly where I left it, but it somehow meanders whenever I'm talking.